You know, they say only the good die young, but I'm going to let you in on a secret. You're going to be dead one day. So, most business owners love their business, whether they inherited it, bought it, built it from scratch. Bottom line is most business owners love their business. It is like their child, and it should be. You want to nurture it, guide it, direct it, coach it, teach it, love it, so that you can reap the benefits of what you want out of this business, this extension of you, right? But there comes a point in time where, as an owner, you might be thinking about that exit strategy, that succession plan, that quote unquote, what's next. So recently, the Oracle of Omaha, right? Warren Buffett himself was quoted in his annual newsletter to his employees of not to worry about the succession plan. They got it right. In fact, his words were, your business is 100% prepared for our departure. And he was talking about himself at 89 and his 96-year-old lieutenant. Okay? God bless these folks, right? 89 and 96. Your business is 100% prepared for our departure. Folks, you're an independent business owner. Is your business 100% prepared for your departure? So, people get demoted, people get ill, people get, God forbid, killed. Stuff goes on in the world. Is your business prepared for your departure? So I'm told that over 1,600 CEOs changed positions last year. Many were unplanned. I'm going to bet that a lot of those were in publicly traded companies, because there's probably no statistics on privately owned companies of how many CEOs changed hands. But if you've been running your business for a while, you need to be thinking about your next act, right? So not many owners can properly prepare a succession plan. A lot of owners think giving the business to their son or their daughter, Jack or Diane, whatever their names are, is their answer to succession, and that Jack or Diane will continue to pay them in perpetuity. It's not a plan. That's a dream. That's like telling your child, I want you to be a brain surgeon, but I'm not going to send you to med school. We're just going to go buy you some tools, rent an office, and hand this junk to you. Here's a scalpel, here's an assistant, here's some gauze pads, and now you're a brain surgeon. So without the right planning, training, foresight, and surrounding yourself with the right people to make this transition work properly, not going to happen. Just because you love your kids doesn't make them a brain surgeon. So I'm going to bet you that Warren Buffett and the people that manage Berkshire Hathaway on a daily basis worked for a long time to create a plan that would would allow for a seamless transition from Warren and others to that next generation of leadership, so that the investors could sleep well at night. So what should you be doing? Okay, when you're preparing a plan, if you're going to do this. And first I want to tell you that preparing a succession plan is as complicated, detailed, and thought-provoking as creating a business plan. Both tremendous amount of work. So when you want to prepare a plan for transition, for succession, first thing you need to say to yourself is, do you want to sell the business or not? Do you want to sell? Most owners don't want to sell. Do you know why most owners don't want to sell? Twofold. Number one, they don't want to pay the taxes. And number two, equally as important, it is too emotional to sell. It is emotional. If it's been your business or in your family for 30, 40, 50 years, and you got your name up on the wall outside, most owners don't want to sell. And I'll give you a personal story. My grandfather owned a construction business back in Westchester County 100 years ago. My father and my uncle did not want to take that business over. Today, my brothers and I would be running that business if my father and my uncle chose to take it over. They chose not to. But every time I go back to Westchester County, I see and touch the bricks of the buildings he's built and the bridges he built. It still is emotional to me. So most owners, they talk about selling, they really don't want to sell. Second thing when preparing your plan, it's about people. Do you have the people in your organization that you have the confidence in to spend 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years Training, building, testing. Training, building, testing, so that it will be a Warren Buffett type seamless transition. Do you have the people to do that? So first, do you want to sell? Most talk about it but don't want to do it. Do you have the right people? Most have good people, but are they the right people that you do not have to think about this, that the transition will be seamless? And finally, when preparing a plan, what do you want to get out of it? And what do you want your employees to get out of it? And if you have investors, what you want your investors to get out of it? Those are the things you got to consider, folks, because you're not the only one that's impacted here. Deep thought, a lot of time, a lot of work. Most people don't do it. And I've got plenty of clients that I've worked with throughout my years at American Management Services that just think, well, I'm going to start a 5-year plan. When? Today. Well, what's it going to look like 5 years from now? No clue. No clue. You should be calling me to look for help. Rules to follow. Number 1, if you're not doing a business plan, you know I'm going to tell you shame on you. But if you are doing a business plan, your first rule to follow in doing a succession/transition plan is you need to work harder at this than you do at your business plan. You have so many people's lives in your hand to make sure you do this right. You want to do this. A real detailed plan, harder than a business plan. Number 2, the plan's got to be right for you. But when I say you, I mean you. Any investors you might have, your employees, if they're going to do however you're going to do that, your family, your next generation. There's so much to think about, folks. In the case of Berkshire Hathaway, there is no family for them to worry about. Here, you're independent, $5, $10, $15 million contractor, machine shop, retail, or restaurant. A lot of folks have family members involved here, and sometimes the best thing to do is get rid of the family members and sell the business. Sometimes the best thing to do is to train the managers you have because the family's not qualified to run the business. Third thing, always go over the risks and the benefits. The benefits will take care of themselves. The risks are your priorities. Always your priorities. Deal with the risk. Lay them out. You've been in business 10, 20, 30, 40 years. You've created something that you'd like to see go on in perpetuity, but you want to be safe and you want to have a great succession plan. It takes years to make this transition work. Finally, the benefits, okay? Benefits can always be money, way of life, time, cultural. Risks is that the next generation is not prepared. They do not learn well enough. The contacts you've developed over the years get frayed. Let's hit the wall while we're doing this. There's a lot of risks involved when you're creating a plan like this, okay? So you need to be careful, and if something goes wrong here, what's the impact to your 30, 40-year career? So if these things get a little messed up, what's the impact to you and to your family? There's so much to deal with here. So I've got a friend that has business in Florida and over in the Panhandle, and just sold a majority stake in their business for a lot of money. And they deserve it. They took years building their business. But to make sure the succession on this sale took place, and the only reason they sold it is because they did not have family or employees that they felt could take over. They never wanted to sell this business. But they maintained 15% of it for them to manage for the next 5 years to make sure their employees were all okay. It took 2 years to get to this, folks. So listen, I think you know by now, I like this little birdie. Let's put a little eye on him and a smiley face to go under his little beak, okay? So hit me up at Moscow Small Biz anytime to talk about transitioning and succession. I'm certainly no Warren Buffett, right, guys? But I live in your shoes every day. So at Moscow Small Biz, call me anytime, 800-743-0410. I will take your calls anytime, day or night. Just give a shout. And finally, subscribe. Jonathan, you want to hit that bell for me? Subscribe. Ding, ring the bell for all of our notifications, okay? This is mission critical, especially if you're getting up there like I am at 64 years old and you want to make sure that the environment you're working in goes on forever and great people have great opportunity. Succession and transitioning. There was no words in Warren Buffett's letter about selling the company or breaking it up. It was about moving forward in perpetuity without him. That's what most owners want. Anytime, guys. At Mosca Small Biz, 800-743-0410. Ding. Subscribe anytime you want. Ring the bell. Look forward to working with you. Hey, we have an ebook on succession planning. Click the link in the section below. Download it. Get it for yourself. Read it. Call me anytime.